Hi, I'm David Roche,
I'm Marlena Blavin.
and we're here to talk about our experience talking in middle schools. And first of all, I want to thank the Children's Craniofacial Alliance, and especially Khadija, for being so good at setting up this speakers bureau. So, our first topic, talking in middle schools. This is kind of random. The first thing I'd say is, the first principle is, it's not about you, it's about them, okay? So let's talk about the people who will be sitting in front of you as you're talking. First of all, they can be restless, depending on the time and the day. If it's like just before lunch, just before recess, they can be restless. If it's Friday afternoon, they can be restless. So try to schedule something for the morning time early in the week, okay? Now, another point, they may have disabilities. One thing to remember is use the microphone. Don't convince yourself that you have this magic voice that can project. There are people who don't hear as well. You might be asked to learn one of the devices that helps people hear better, okay? What else? Oh, the kids are in that middle zone between childhood and puberty. So you might get a little bit of each one, so just knowing that they're there. And another thing is you can trust the kids. They're good. I didn't always believe that, but actually I learned from Marlena. Tell them the White Hill story, hon.
Oh, okay. Hi. I remember this was a transformational moment for me. David and I were speaking at a middle school that had 5th and 6th and 7th graders. It was in a gymnasium. There were 350 kids. That's a big audience to be able to hold. And I come on second. So I do all the things that I do to build my confidence, which I will tell you about later. And I had this intuitive feeling that I wanted to give the mic to the kids to hold when they would answer the question that I asked. Have you ever had anyone take a second look at you, and what did that feel like? I could see that David was nervous in the background. He was worried that if I gave the kids that much control with the mic, we could go on forever and ever. But I could see immediately, as soon as I handed the mic to someone, their body language changed. They stood up taller. There was a sense of confidence and strength in their voice. And I thought, this is really cool. And then I saw someone over to the side, and he looked like he was a little shy, and I just trusted my intuition. So pay attention to your audience. You might see that someone kind of wants to speak, and then you might go, it looks like you have something to say. And he said, well, I said, what's your name? I said, my name is Sam. I said, well, have you ever taken a second look at someone? Has anyone ever done that for you? He said, well, I kind of did with Jose. You know, he had a limp, and he had looks like he had this funny thing on his lip, and I wasn't quite sure about him, but I thought, well, maybe I'll go up and just say hi. And we spent some time at lunch together, and it turns out that he's really cool. He's like, wow, he knows a lot about baseball, and we started sharing cards, and it was like really cool. And then I said, where's Jose? He said, well, he's right back here. I said, Jose, do you want to come up and tell us what it was like to have Sam take a second look at you? Well, he just kind of strolled up, you know, you could see his body language. And when he had the mic, it was like the magic wand. And he said, well, my mom didn't want me to come to school here because she thought that, you know, I limp and I've got this funny lip and what's going to happen. She was really worried and concerned, but you know what? I feel really confident, and I'm just proud of who I am. I thought that was interesting because he kind of repeated what David had said. But whatever it was, he felt confident and proud, and Sam came up to him and put his arm around him, and here were these two 5th graders saying, Yeah, yeah, homie, we're friends. And all the teachers and the counselors and the parents, of course, were crying. So trust your intuition.
Okay, next point, preparation. Here's a tip. Check with the teacher beforehand. You might find out what the kids have been studying or reading. You might find out if there's been incidents of bullying or teasing in the class. The teachers have a good sense of who the kids are as individuals and the class as a whole. So be sure to check in with them and tell them, since they're the teachers, they can interject, they can ask questions, they can say, I'd like to hear some Lenny, or things like that. So it's a teacher's class, respect that. Now, down to business. First principle, show, don't tell. Always use concrete examples. If you can tell the people what it smelled like, what it tasted like, what it sounded like, what it felt like, what it looked like, then that's something that everybody can relate to. What do middle schoolers like? I think that there are three things that they like. One is being funny. Okay, now maybe you're not a comedian. I happen to be a funny person, right, hon?
Absolutely.
And but you will find ways to be funny, and you might find ways to be funny that you don't know are funny because the kids will laugh. Well, you remember that, and you can use it the next time, okay? They like funny, and they like physical. So be in your body. You can move, you can use gestures, you can like move across the stage if you have the ability to do that. You can move your face. When you're afraid, that's show, don't tell. And the other thing that kids like a lot is authenticity. That means you be yourself, you be your feelings. It's tied in to show, don't tell. Again, use a kind of concrete examples that are good. Physical, authentic. Okay, here's what they don't like. They don't like to be told what to do. Okay, your stories, the things you have to say, your experience, they show the kids what to do by example. There's not any teaching or finger pointing. They like that a lot. Another thing they don't like is if you ramble on and on. You need to pay attention to your time limits. If you're working in a 50-minute period, then you can do your talk for like 25 minutes and then turn on the question and answer, okay? Now, question and answer time, to me, I think it's the best part because you let the kids be the drivers and you find out what interests them, and then you can use that as you move on to the next time too. Again, you should remember, if you're like in a class with 5th, 6th, and 7th graders, the 5th graders will be a little bit more shy because they want to not be teased by the 7th graders. They feel like they don't have the right to talk sometimes. You may want to lead them on with questions such as, well, what did you think when you first saw me? Or, do you know anybody else who has a facial difference? Or, just whatever feels like a good question to ask. So those I think are tips, namely for talking with middle school students, and that's something that Marlena and I have shared a lot. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.